Got a garden that's just meh? What if I told you there's a game changer in your bathroom cabinet, hydrogen peroxide? This simple item can revolutionize your gardening game. Welcome to Mad Scientist Organic Grower. I'm Xander Van. Let's dive into how H2O2 can transform your garden. From boosting root health to warding off pests, it's a game changer. Ready to elevate your gardening? Let's get started. Let's kick things off with soil oxygen. Plant roots need to breathe, just like we do. Compacted soil squeezes out air pockets. Less oxygen means stressed roots. Imagine running a marathon breathing through a straw. Stressed plants grow slower and face more problems. Roots use oxygen for respiration, converting sugars into energy. This energy is vital for growth and nutrient absorption. Without enough oxygen, roots can't function efficiently. This leads to stunted growth and yellowing leaves. Enter hydrogen peroxide. It breaks down into water and oxygen. This extra oxygen helps roots breathe. Pour a diluted solution onto your soil. Use 1 part hydrogen peroxide to 4 parts water. Let's talk about a gardener's nightmare: root rot and fungal infections. These can turn thriving plants into a wilted mess. Root rot happens when roots decay due to waterlogged soil. Hydrogen peroxide helps by adding oxygen and killing pathogens. Apply a diluted solution to the soil to combat root rot. Okay, let's shift gears from diseases to another common garden menace: pests. Aphids, spider mites, thrips, fungus gnats. These tiny terrors can wreak havoc on your beloved plants, sucking the life out of them, spreading diseases, and just generally being a nuisance. Traditional pesticides can be effective, but they often come with downsides. They can harm beneficial insects like bees and ladybugs, leave residues on your produce, and sometimes even be harmful to pets and humans if not used carefully. What if I told you that our versatile friend hydrogen peroxide can also play a role on this front? It's not going to wipe out every bug in a 10-mile radius, but it can definitely help manage certain types of pests, particularly soft-bodied insects and their eggs. The way hydrogen peroxide works against pests is primarily through oxidation and by creating an inhospitable environment. For soft-bodied insects like aphids, spider mites, and mealybugs, a direct spray of diluted hydrogen peroxide can damage their outer layers or even their eggs. It's not a systemic poison that the plant absorbs, it's more of a contact killer or deterrent. Think of it as making the plant surface really unpleasant for these little critters. Seed starting superstar germination power-up. Alright, let's talk about the very beginning of a plant's life: seed germination. This is such a critical stage, and sometimes it can be a bit tricky. You plant your seeds with high hopes, wait patiently, and nothing. Or maybe only a few sprout. It can be disheartening. There are many reasons why seeds might fail to germinate. They could be old, have a really tough seed coat, or they might be carrying some sneaky fungal spores that attack the seedling before it even has a chance. This is where a little pre-treatment can make a world of difference. Enter hydrogen peroxide, our multi-talented garden assistant. Soaking seeds in a very dilute hydrogen peroxide solution before planting can actually give them a significant germination boost. How does it do this? Well, a couple of ways. First, the oxidizing power of hydrogen peroxide can help to soften or scarify that tough outer seed coat. This makes it easier for water to penetrate the seed and for the emerging seedling to break free. It's like giving the seed a little help to unzip its coat. Chapter 5. Squeaky clean disinfecting tools and pots. Now, let's talk about something that might seem a bit mundane but is actually super critical for a healthy garden hygiene. I'm talking about cleaning your garden tools and pots. It's easy to overlook this step, especially when you're busy with planting or harvesting, but trust me, dirty tools and pots can be a major highway for spreading plant diseases. Think about it. If you prune a diseased plant and then use those same pruners on a healthy one without cleaning them, you're basically playing doctor and accidentally transmitting the illness. Plant pathogens like fungal spores, bacteria, and even viruses can lurk on the surfaces of your tools. Your pruners, shovels, trowels, and in the leftover soil and debris in your used pots. When you reuse these items without proper disinfection, you risk introducing these pathogens to new healthy plants or spreading an existing problem throughout your garden. Chapter 6. Bye-bye biofilms, algae and mold meltdown. Alright, let's tackle those slimy, unsightly patches of algae and mold that can pop up in and around the garden. You might see green algae forming on the surface of your soil, especially in pots that stay consistently moist, or on greenhouse panels, walkways, bird baths, or even on the outside of terracotta pots. Mold, often black or gray, can also appear on soil surfaces or damp garden structures. While a little bit of algae on the soil isn't usually a major threat to mature plants, it can compete with young seedlings for nutrients and light, and heavy buildup can impede water penetration and air exchange. More than just being an eyesore, these growths can indicate underlying issues like overwatering, poor drainage, or insufficient air circulation. Algae on pathways can become incredibly slippery and hazardous, creating a safety risk. Mold, depending on the type, can sometimes be problematic for plant health or even for people with sensitivities if it becomes widespread. Chapter 7. Weed Warfare. The Natural Knockout, Weeds. The bane of every gardener's existence, right? These unwelcome invaders pop up everywhere, competing with your precious plants for water, nutrients, sunlight, and space. Pulling them by hand can be back-breaking work, especially in large areas. And while chemical herbicides are an option, many of us are looking for more natural, less toxic ways to manage these persistent pests. It's a constant battle to keep them from taking over and ruining the look of your carefully cultivated garden beds or pathways. Traditional herbicides often contain chemicals that can persist in the soil, potentially harm beneficial soil organisms, or even drift onto your desirable plants and cause damage. There's a growing desire for weed control methods that are effective but also kinder to the environment and safer for use around homes, pets, and edible crops. This is where exploring alternatives becomes really important, and surprisingly, hydrogen peroxide can play a role here too, though with some important caveats and a different approach than our previous applications. Let's talk about composting, turning kitchen scraps and yard waste into nutrient-rich black gold for your garden. Sometimes decomposition can be slow, or your compost pile might start to smell. This usually means there's not enough oxygen, leading to anaerobic decomposition and unpleasant odors. Aerobic microorganisms need oxygen to work efficiently. They break down organic matter quickly without creating stinky smells. Too wet, compacted, or nitrogen-rich compost can run out of oxygen. Anaerobic microbes take over, causing rotten egg or ammonia-like odors. How can hydrogen peroxide help? By introducing more oxygen. Adding diluted hydrogen peroxide boosts oxygen for aerobic microbes. This speeds up decomposition and reduces odors. Shift the balance back to aerobic decomposition for healthy odor-free compost. Now for something a little more high-tech: hydroponics. For those of you growing plants without soil, using nutrient-rich water solutions, you know that maintaining the right environment for your plant roots is absolutely crucial. In hydroponic systems, roots are submerged in or frequently exposed to water. While this provides them with constant access to nutrients, it also means that ensuring adequate dissolved oxygen in that water is paramount. Without enough oxygen, roots can essentially drown or become susceptible to root rot, even in a soilless system. Oxygen is vital for root respiration and nutrient uptake in hydroponic setups, just as it is in soil. In many systems, especially deep water culture, DWC, or static nutrient film technique, NFT systems without constant vigorous aeration, oxygen levels in the nutrient solution can deplete over time. This can be due to consumption by the plant roots themselves, by microorganisms, or simply due to rising water temperatures. Warmer water holds less dissolved oxygen. Low oxygen levels are a major stressor for hydroponically grown plants. This is where hydrogen peroxide can be a real lifesaver for hydroponic growers. Adding food-grade hydrogen peroxide, often at 35% concentration, which must be handled with extreme care and diluted significantly, or even standard 3% H2O2 to the nutrient reservoir, can effectively increase the dissolved oxygen levels in the water. We've talked about helping our plants grow, keeping them healthy, and even boosting their start in life. But what about when it's time to enjoy the fruits and veggies of our labor? After all that hard work, you want to make sure the produce you bring from your garden to your kitchen is clean and safe to eat. Even in an organic garden, fruits and vegetables can pick up dirt, bacteria from the soil, bird droppings, or even lingering residues from organic pest control methods. A good wash is always recommended. While rinsing with plain water helps, sometimes you might want a little extra assurance, especially for produce that's grown close to the ground, like lettuce or strawberries or items you plan to eat raw. You want to remove any potential pathogens or contaminants without resorting to harsh chemical washes that you might find in commercial settings. This is where, once again, our versatile friend hydrogen peroxide can lend a helping hand, offering a simple and effective way to sanitize your homegrown harvest. Using a very dilute hydrogen peroxide solution as a produce wash can help to kill bacteria like E. coli or Salmonella, and reduce surface pesticide residues, if any were used, even organic ones. The oxidizing action of H2O2 works to break down these contaminants. Hydrogen peroxide can transform your gardening game. From boosting soil oxygen and fighting root rot, to sprouting seeds faster and cleaning tools, this household item is amazing. It's a natural pest deterrent, algae cleaner, and compost accelerator. It helps in hydroponics and sanitizing harvests. Hydrogen peroxide is a versatile tool for every gardener. I hope this inspires new possibilities for your garden. The science is straightforward and effective. Use correct dilutions and prioritize safety. For most uses, the standard 3% solution is best. Work smarter, not harder. If you found these tips helpful, give us a thumbs up, subscribe for more gardening insights, and hit that notification bell. We've got more science-backed gardening tips coming your way. Share this video, and let's cultivate a thriving community. Let me know in the comments which tips you'll try first, or share your own hydrogen peroxide uses. Until next time, happy growing.